twisted off its rocket, yo, I chase lines. Mix it with the molly, bloody silly, and I'm drifting, see the planetary wally, yo, I straight race the stars, I'm sunshine. My days fading lost, my days fading lost. I straight race the stars, I'm sunshine. My days fading lost, my days fading lost. Have I been floating around for too long? Is it time to hit my home? I don't know anymore. Have I been floating around for too long? Is it time to head back home? I don't know anymore. Through space-time, an interstellar mission. Every man I stay risen and my medicine stays ever ready. Better visit the world, cause I'm addicted to girls and certainly the bevies. Por fatame venti, constant travel out the galaxy gargantua. This pebble where I slide, but yo, what I sit with a canister, I stay cosmic, paving grace, touching spray, escape, lost in space, I move timeless. Star racer, light worker, high chaser, life learner, heartbreaker, fly further, try swerve ya, might burn ya. Yeah, gonna leave space and time, gonna leave space, gonna break out to the gate where I search and I'm playing for the answer like I seek faith. Freaking and dancing, try to see straight, no chance. Riddle in the past and the future, piddle in a bar in a starship far away. I cut darker shapes, I shift far from space, the rain free, say get away. The homeland's tear away, I live like years in endearing days. My time passes quickly, but my days, they always fade last. Have I been floating around for too long? Is it time to hit my home? I don't know anymore. My days fading last, my days fading last. Have I been floating around for too long? Is it time to head back home? I don't know anymore.
All right, guys. Hi. Good evening.
Cheers to you, Wirt. Welcome back. Wirt, smile.
Good evening, boys. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while. It's nice to see you guys. Hope you're having a good weekend. So, yeah. Guys, I didn't really want to go live today, but I feel like I kind of have to sort of just talk about everything that's been going on now and what we're going to do going forwards. We got World Cup tomorrow, which is going to be big hype, but I know there's a lot of unanswered questions that you guys probably have. There's a lot you want to hear from what I have to say about everything. So I thought it would probably be best to do this stream and then just talk about things, so that tomorrow and like going forwards we can probably, try to think about things that are about to happen still, I'm a little quiet. Oh, dude, I see. Wait, sorry. This should be better. Virtual and audio settings. Yeah, no. So, it's been a hectic week. It's been a very hectic week. Very hectic last few weeks. A lot that happened. And, yeah. I don't even know where to begin, man. It's, I didn't really prepare anything to say either. I felt there's a lot to say, so. Well, I guess the first thing you guys are probably wondering about is how I'm doing, since you're here. I'm doing okay. I've been pretty, I don't know. The last few days have just been pretty empty. If you guys ever did a huge project where you worked for days and you finish it, it's kind of just this empty feeling afterwards. What do I do now? And yeah, I haven't really been able to do much work or think about a lot of things. I've sort of just turned off most social media, not really checked DMs that much or interacted with people. But it's going good, I'd say. The main thing that's sort of been getting to me is no, not yet. The main thing that's been getting to me try this one more time. Just gotta. Okay, let's try this one more time. The main thing that's been getting to me are all the comments about our motivation for doing this. A lot of people think that we somehow enjoy this. It's somehow been yay, we caught the cheaters. It's not really. Coming out with this has been one of the most difficult decisions that me and Donadigo had to take. We talked about it a lot. Many times. Should we even publish this? What we found. Because we knew the consequences. After what we saw, we knew exactly what might happen. And it's how do you balance that, right? I can tell you guys how it originally started is that a player, actually Trabadia, wanted to play snow maps. And so he wanted to see how to play snow. So he asked for Donadigo to see Riola's inputs on a snow map. And the inputs looked weird. It looked like something from Ogus that we already had checked and thought was cheated. And so we were that was kind of weird. So Donadigo wanted to see how weird is it? So then he compares that snow replay to a replay by Techno. And then that also has the exact same inputs. And so when we saw that, we realized like, oh, okay, this is bad, right? And we kind of just stumbled upon this. This wasn't something like we sought out. This wasn't something that we wanted to do, but we stumbled upon this, and then it was like, what do we do with this now? Do we just pretend like we never saw it and just move on? Because Trackmania's been on a really good like upwards trend for the past half a year maybe. And we knew that like coming out with this now could ruin a lot of things. It could change a lot of things. But at the same time, it would be like somehow wrong as well to just sort of pretend like we never saw what we saw. But we at the same time didn't want to do this. It was just something that we felt duty bound to do in a way. But what also makes it really difficult is like, I've been playing this game for 8 years. I know most of the players, like the top players, right? World record contenders. I know these people. I've played a lot with these people. I've talked to them a lot. They're not bad people by any means. It's just, it sucks to be the guy who has to send them the message and say like, hey, can you explain these inputs, you know? And then especially when I sort of wanted to do it in a way where we could cause the least amount of damage. Because I still think it's important to have clean leaderboards, to not have cheaters. I think that's important for a game such as this. But it's also important to like do it in a way where you're not overly, you know, going after someone or anything like that. So I think we really tried. We really tried our best with that. And it just sucks that it ended up this way, because it's not at all what we wanted. So I don't know. The last days I've been pretty stressed. Because it's like this moral dilemma, right? That I'm just battling with now. Like Ryulu, for example, lost his ties with Nuravin. We don't know about the TMGL spot itself, but that's already like a fallout of this. I've seen a lot of other things happen because of this. And like what he did was by no means correct. Like you shouldn't cheat, obviously. You shouldn't cheat for that long, obviously. You shouldn't lie for that long, obviously. But I can't help but feel like the bad guy in the situation still. For just putting this forward. And I know a lot of people are asking as well how Ryulu's doing, and as far as I've heard from two sources, from Bergie, who said that he's not doing so well mentally either, And I've heard some people say Granati said on stream that he's doing okay. But it's just a mess all around, like. And I sort of just wish that, like, I think we have to confront this now, but I hope that we can also just move forward soon. Because I want to go back to streaming, to entertaining you guys, to making Trackmania content. But like right now, I don't have the motivation for it. I really don't. Because I sort of just know like it's gonna be this thing over and over again. So yeah, if there are any Wirtual fans in chat, I'm really sorry. I just wish it could be different. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen now with the cheaters, what sort of punishment they'll get. I think it's good that a lot of them admitted to it and went public and said, yeah, I did this on their own vocation, because that is honestly the best way to come forward with something like this, that we don't have to publish anything sort of exposing them in a way. But it really just shows like how deep this issue runs, because in this entire game's history for like 13 years, this is the first time that anyone's really looked for this. And that is why we're finding so much of it as well. But I just hope that after this now, we can sort of just go back to being clean. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go over a few more things, and then if you guys have any questions for me, you can ask. I won't play Cup of the Day today. I'll probably be here for like 2 hours, just talking. And then tomorrow is World Cup, so gonna try to prepare for that. But I'm really glad that we're doing this now, because like, hopefully, guys. I mean, tomorrow World Cup starts, and it is going to be most likely the biggest Trackmania tournament that we've ever had, apart from like Strader Cups. So I really hope that like we just, you know, we focus on that and like the good things that are happening now, because the game is still on a really big upwards trend, like undeniably. And it sucks that this has happened in the past, and it's happening. But there are a lot of good things like on the way. So yeah, let's just talk about this. Let's just clear the air, and then let's move forward. It's what I want. That's what I hope we can do. My voice is kind of cracking. Am I okay? Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm a pretty optimistic guy. Like pretty, what do you call it? Easygoing guy. I don't usually get too affected by things. And I don't really like to see myself as a victim either in a situation. Because I always think like, yeah, there's something I can do better right now. Or I could just be more productive, or I could just be like, yeah, I always feel like there's something I can do, right? But like the last few days, I've just been honestly like sad. And I don't really know what to do to fix it. Like I haven't gotten a lot of sleep. I haven't felt very hungry. I haven't felt like working or like writing a script or recording a script or answering messages. I've kind of just put it all on hold. But like mentally, apart from that, just like that sense of not wanting to do anything, I've felt okay, I think. I had some friends over last night and we celebrated hitting 400k on YouTube, which was very nice. So, and then I was working out with the same friends 2 days ago. It's like I have gotten to do some stuff, but this feeling is really bothering me because I don't know what to do with it right now. That's the main thing. Do I regret posting the tweets I did during Riolu stream, like the mood one? No. But it's mainly that I think people didn't understand how I saw it with that tweet. The tweet was not really meant to mock Riolu in any way or anything like that. It was more just symbolic for me to post something. Because from my point of view, we tried to warn him about saying anything big in public. And we showed him all the evidence that we had. And then I got banned in his chat, and then he went live and did all the things that we were hoping wouldn't happen. And so the tweet was kind of just me. I don't know. It felt correct in the moment to post that. I don't feel too bad about that tweet. I feel maybe the one where I said something about my name is now a banned word, that one, sure. I probably shouldn't have posted it. But the picture of us at ESA, I think I can stand by. It was more just like, okay, me and you have been friends now for like 3 years, I'd say. And I wouldn't say we've been like great friends. I mean, we're sort of just, we know each other in the game, right? We met up at ESA, we did runs together there. That was a great time. We've had some streams together, like the Kaki streams. We also had a battle on a map, EO3. And then we did Norvin together, which was a great adventure. And we both grew a lot together that way. But I felt sort of that stream was kind of just the end of that. That's when I posted this picture. That's when this like switch flipped in my head. Like, yeah, I think that's it. Hey, Carl. Yeah, no. So, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to get to everything I can. What to think about Trebodia's tweet? Sad to see that he also cheated. Yeah. Yeah, no, but I think his tweet also demonstrated exactly the problem that some top players feel. It's the tweet longer, right? Trebodia admitted to using macros to do a perfect speed slide on AO1. And he mentions here how he felt so good at the map and he had spent so many hours at the map that he just wanted to do it perfectly, right? And then where is it? Yeah, he could get a good start, 1 in 300, then a 1 in 4, and then a 1 in 20, 2 out of 3, 5 out of 6. Like if you add all this up, it's crazy world record probabilities, right? So he just thought like, yeah, why wait for all these runs, you know? And probably thought like, or felt like he deserved the run that he got. But yeah, we've actually known about Trebatia's case for a little while. Like we looked into this in the start of May. And then since it wasn't really related to the slow motion thing, we didn't include it in the report. We weren't exactly sure either, but we had some evidence. We talked to him about it, and then he admitted to Trackmania Exchange that he did this. So where do I see myself in 1 month? Dude, I see myself back to work. I have a lot of great ideas. I have a lot of cool things that I want to do both on stream and in videos. I just sort of need to put this situation behind me to be able to work on those things. I don't see myself quitting or anything like that. Like I really love what I'm doing in general. But it's just this right now has been very stressful, so I haven't been able to get back to it. But yeah, I feel really happy thinking about myself in 1 month because I know it's gonna be over by then, for sure. Like I'll be back, fully normal mental. For the near future, what is the best case scenario? Well, I mean, the thing is like any remaining cheaters that haven't admitted, if they admit in the future, then this could go on and on and on. I think this case is kind of just like one very big band-aid that you just want to like rip off as fast as you can and then just move forward. So if you have cheated on your records, then now is a pretty good time to admit to that and then just get it cleaned up, out of the leaderboard, out of sight, out of mind. And then just, yeah. In 2-3 months, hopefully everyone's playing legit again. But there are like anonymous, you can submit anonymous to Trackmania Exchange that you did something and they'll just remove your runs. So that's really good. What do I think Nadea will do about all this? I don't know. I don't know. I know that they have much better detection methods than we do, than we did in our research, and they can very accurately identify if someone used slow motion or not, more than just looking at inputs or calculating like how possible is this kind of movement. Like they can very accurately tell, did this player use slow motion, yes or not, no matter the inputs. That's what I've heard. But what they will do about it, I don't know. Is Donadigo okay? Donadigo has been experiencing a lot of the same stress as I did. So in a way, it's been good to sort of just talk between us. But yeah, same case for him as for me, that we never really wanted to do this, but it was something that we felt we had to do, come forward with. And yeah. And especially he is getting a lot of the scrutiny for it because he spent hundreds of hours checking every possible explanation. Like he did not jump to any conclusions. Like, what if the inputs are interpolated? What if system failure, etc., etc.? He looked into all the things to make sure that the case was accurate. Because the last thing we wanted to do was to falsely accuse someone. And so far, I think we've been accurate on every case that we argued was cheated. Are there any plans, possibilities to investigate TM 2020? So TM 2020, they have encrypted the inputs in replay files. So you can no longer see the exact list of inputs the player did in the replays. That's encrypted. So we actually don't know. We don't know if you can check those. There was a tool developed by MIS, the Open Planet dev, that shows the same input display, but that is actually interpolated. That is just based on wheel position and not actual hand movement. So that is not a way to tell if someone cheated or not, this tool by Open Planet. But I think maybe Nadia will look into TM 2020 replays. Have I talked to Riolu in person or in voice? Not since the event, since the live stream. No, that was the last time we spoke since he went live last week. Was the Plus sister theory just a rumor? No, it's actually true, but it's not the reason the entire investigation started. The sister story is true, but it only came to light like 1 or 2 months after we started looking into this. But it is true. ESWC, we know he has runs there too, but we had to work very fast in the last days to get the report out as soon as possible because people were expecting a response. So we didn't finish compiling ESWC, and we also didn't finish compiling Lagoon. But he has runs there too. Yeah, if you want to see the story, it's in the clip there that someone posted. Will I still befriend and invite Riolu to events if he admits? I think on a professional level, sure. On a personal level, though, probably not. Right now, probably not. I mean, I've been in pretty bad arguments with other friends where I've thought, like, we're never gonna square up again. And then, like, 1.5 to 2 years later, it's like I realize I can't even remember why I'm mad anymore. I don't have any bad feelings anymore, despite knowing I was really mad like 2 years ago. And it could reach that point. And I mean, I can stay professional with people. So, like, sure. But I just think, yeah, no, I think I don't know how much you can judge by the stream, because I don't think he was acting very rationally. But if you judge based on the stream, then no. On a personal level. Why did I decide to include Riolu's reaction in my video? Because I felt I had to respond to it. I could have just read out the words, but I felt I had to show it to accurately also show why I was feeling this way about it. Like, the first half of the video was more, here's what happened, and the second half was more my response to everything that happened on the stream. Because I sort of felt like I can't go live again like this or in any setting until I sort of answered some of these things that have been said, because I didn't think that they were true. Would this whole situation play out differently if Riolu didn't have his live stream? Yes. Yes, I think it would. Techno was the first person to admit, and he admitted to cheating the day after Riolu streamed. He sent us a message. But, I mean, you can flip it and say, like, what if Riolu was the first person to admit, and then he helped us catch Lons, Nico, and Techno? maybe he would have been seen as like the good guy in the story. You can think about that, but I mean, what we have right now is what we have, right? How are the cheated people doing? From what I've heard, they're well, I don't want to say any names, but I've talked to some of them, and one of them received a 1-year ban from the website and from competitions, and he said he will just take a break and think about what he did. And then the other two, I don't know. We have not heard anything from Riolu, guys, whether he admits or denies it. We don't know. Your feeling about using Riolu as clickbait, don't avoid this one. Do you think I used clickbait in the video? I put the picture of the guy who supposedly cheated for 10 years. Well then. But yeah, guys, I've said this already, and I'm going to say it again, that we don't really know what's going to happen now. If Riolu is going to return, or if he's going to take a break, or just stop completely, we don't know. But if you are a fan of this, and you now lost your favorite creator because of this investigation, then I'm sorry about it. I really am. Like, and I've said this already, but I mean, there's more people here now. We didn't want to do this. The goal was never to ruin someone's career like this, or to target someone like this. We simply wanted to just clean up the leaderboards, and we found this. So yeah. You look way too stressed now. Just go on vacation, take a break. See, the thing is like, I can't really rest the last days because I'm just thinking about this a lot. So it's actually really good to just talk about it now, and then I think I'll feel better afterwards. Any word from someone close to Riolu that he's not just a complete mess? 2 people have commented about it. Bergie said that he's not doing too well mentally, and Grenadi, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, has said that he's heard from someone close to him that he's doing kind of okay. Don't you think that it should have been dealt with internally with Nadeo with the video and a report? Well, this is something that a lot of people don't know, but we also talked to Nadeo at the same time as we approached Riolu about it. We said, hey, we've detected a lot of cheaters or potential cheaters in Trackmania Nations Forever, United Forever, and we're writing a report about it. Here's the evidence that we've compiled so far. We gave them all the exact same info. So yes, we were working with Nadeo at the same time. Was this ever meant to go public besides the report? The main idea was to publish the report and also do a video just talking about it. So you can think of the video that I made, basically just the first half of that video, but probably mentioning other players if they didn't admit to cheating. But to say I did it for the video would be wrong again, because I just think a lot of people don't bother reading the report, because it is very technical, as it should be. So the video is sort of meant as just a easier way of reading the report and still getting the same info. Casting tomorrow? Yes, I am. What do you think about Trabadi and AO1? Do you feel sorry for him or bad for him or annoyed for him at what he did? I mean, he just came out with it. But nah, Trabadi's situation upsets me a little bit too. Because there's more to that story than just AO1. But I don't know if I want to comment about it now or if he's planning on saying anything. But yeah. If I were the CEO of Ubisoft, I'd ban all cheaters. No, I think people can reform. I really think so. Like, permanent ban, I think, is harsh. Because people can change. But I also think you need to account for the fact that the people who've cheated have also caused a lot of people to waste a lot of hours to beat records that they maybe already had. Like, if you were in a battle with a cheater and you improve your record 5 times and they improve 6 times, suddenly you're like at the top of the leaderboard, 1 second faster than any other legit player, but you're still second to the cheater, right? So in some way, like the worst thing is not that they themselves cheat, it's that they lie to the other community members and make them waste a lot of their time thinking they're battling against someone who's just that good, right? So I think like adequate punishment, if I was the one doing it, I'm obviously not. I have no say in that at all. I think a few years, like maybe 5 years at most. I mean, that's a long time. 5 years banned from a game. But anything more than that is just too much. Any thoughts on the situation with Nuravin? Think there will be a rival for them in TM? Well, I see that like right now, it would obviously be very difficult to continue with the history. And so I can understand the situation, the decision to leave the league. Will they ever return? Maybe in a few years. I don't think the game will ever stop growing, really. So I think like it's sort of a Trackmania right now is sort of a cryptocurrency. The earlier you invest, the better your payouts are. So they might jump on again when it starts mooning, but we'll see. Will I play COTD today? No, I don't feel like playing today. Did I leave Nuravin because of this? No. No, and this is something that I think is important to mention too, is that I already wanted to go independent from Nuravin in December of 2020. But then because of TMGL, like so my contract had a 90-day leave period. So if I say I want to leave, I still have to wait 90 days to actually leave the team so they can find a replacement. So if I did that in December, it would crash with TMGL. So I set it early January so that it would be after the winter season that I was independent. So it was unrelated to this. Am I getting a new team? I actually really like being independent right now. It gives me a lot of freedom in what I want to do, the content that I want to make, and I just enjoy it. So for now, no. What would I say if Riolu was in the chat right now? I'd say that I hope he's doing well. I hope he has people around him to support him. I have very much sympathy for Riolu the human being. I still think what Riolu as the competitor, the player, did was messed up. And I think it's something that he should probably admit to or say sorry to all the players that he affected. But Riolu the human being, I hope he's doing well. I hope that he can recover from this. And yeah. If Nadio's methods are better than ours, why didn't they detect them themselves? I don't know if this is something that I can mention, but maybe it's something Nadeo will talk about at some point. So I can't say. But yeah. It's something that Nadeo will maybe comment about. I said 5 years at most, by the way. I don't think they should all be banned for 5 years. I just think if you do any ban longer than 5 years, it's excessive. It's too much. Like, some players already got banned for 1 year. I think that's pretty fair, considering what that player did. But, yeah. I will not play Cup today, guys. Will I play any team today? I said originally I might, but I don't really feel like it right now. There's also a lot of questions that you guys are asking that I've already answered like earlier on in the VOD. So instead of just like repeating myself over and over, just feel free to go back after and check it. Questions about Trabadia, questions about how it all started, this stuff, that stuff. Yeah, I've said it already. Where we discussed what we found? Well, we really couldn't believe it for a good while. It was sort of like there had to be another explanation. We thought in the beginning. Because we found so many replays looking like this, like that it was starting to be more of like is it a playstyle thing, right? Is this just how they play? Is it some insane sensitivity setting or like DX tweak or anything like this? Is it some logical explanation? So we really tried for a while. We didn't even think it was cheated. We just thought like it's some weird sensitivity things they're doing. But then as we looked more and more, and as we also checked like runs driven live, runs driven on online servers, this stuff, that's when it really like dawned on us like this is what normal inputs look like and this is what the other inputs look like. In hindsight, would I have changed something with my approach to the whole thing? I think I was underestimating the amount of stress my messages was causing Riolu. At the time of sending them, we still weren't fully aware of the scale of it all. But it clearly affected him negatively for a while. And as he said on his stream, like, he had a lot of trouble sleeping, the same stuff I'm going through now, like no hunger, stuff like this. And I think I underestimated that with my messages and the way I wrote them, and that I should have been more careful in how I wrote to him. That's something that I would change, that might have, avoided us going down this path. Would I let Riolu come clean on his own terms if he admitted to me that I cheated? The good thing, if he admitted to it, would be that it would strengthen our case against other players too. Like, if we were correct about one player, then sort of the dominoes fall. So yeah, I'd be very happy if Riolu started that live stream, and instead of trying to deny the inputs, that he instead just admitted to it. I would be very, very happy. Or not happy, but happy compared to what I am now. I think it would be the best outcome. Is Race Hunts clean? Yes. We have not found any runs on Race Hunts. And guys, it's not like everyone's cheating. Not everyone is cheating. It's just there are some players. I think most players have experimented with this. Some players got addicted to this, and it's the first time in 13 years that anyone's looking into this, which is why it seems like everyone is doing this, when most players are competing fairly. Like, it's not as bad as it maybe could have been. What about, yeah, guys, if they aren't in the report, then they are clean in terms of slow motion. As of right now. As I said, Nadeo has some better detection methods than us. They might post something. But for now, the players that we mentioned are the only players that we can argue cheated. Yes, guys, Mufat is clean. Are we still checking replays? No, I haven't done anything the last days, really. After the report, I've just left it. Should be glad I'm not doing it. I saw someone said it was ice, so maybe we're glad that we're not doing anything. So Hyla's writing in chat, there's around 2,000 records out of 40,000 that are supposedly cheated. And Hyla says that hopefully these players will come clean before they do it. So I agree. I think that's how it should go. But as he said as well, 2 players amount for 500 replays, so it's clearly, if you think about like how much each player could weigh for, that's suddenly not that many players. What is a record defined as? It's a record on one map. So if you cheat 5 maps, that's 5 records. And so on. Have I been reached out to by Nadeo? I've talked to them 2 times in the last days. Once before we published the report, and also, no, twice actually before we published. What did they say? Well, I can't say all the details, but yeah, I can't say. What else do I want to say? Well, I don't really know. I think it's just good for me to talk about all this. So, I mean, I'm already noticing like my mood is a bit lifted from just talking about it, from just getting my feelings about everything out, because it's sort of having to just sit with this, and then you feel like, you know, the world's against you. I mean, and our brain is wired so weird in this, where if I get 100 positive DMs and then I get like 10 negative, then it feels like the 10 negative are, you know, they're just vastly, they're ruining everything, right? I guess it's the same with the leaderboards. Like, you have 38,000 legitimate records, and then you have 2,000 which aren't legitimate, and it's like those 2,000 ruin everything. But I think that overall it's not too bad. I think it's good that we dealt with this now rather than in like 3 years or in 2 years. I think it's just important that this is talked about. And then hopefully it's also like a wake-up call. Like, we got to get our shit together from now on and try to have things clean from now on. Have I talked with Carl? Yes, I have. Am I okay? Hey Sardosh. Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. I mean, obviously it's a bit stressful with everything, but I think okay is a good word to explain it. It's a bit down and then a bit up and a bit down, and yeah. Have I talked to a therapist? No. No, I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm depressed or anything, really. And I usually like, just whenever I get sad like this, I usually just I'm able to sort of get through it. I'm an optimistic guy. Maybe Chad is my therapist. maybe I'm in the therapy session right now, chat, with you guys. Please do take care of yourself. Yeah, I'm spending a lot of time with my my real life friends the last days, which has really helped me out. So that's been a lot of fun. Get my mind off of this a little bit. So yeah. Track today genuinely making you depressed, yeah. How are you feeling about casting with Medic tomorrow? He's your favorite play-by-play league caster? Oh, I'm looking very much forward to it. I've talked a bit with Medic the last days, and I sort of just, on the off chance, just sent him a message like, hey, are you available next weekend? Do you want to cast? And he was just like, oh, sure. So now we're casting Trackmania. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think I'm just gonna be the technical analysis guy, and he's gonna be the full speed talking guy. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be great. It's on Twitch TV Trackmania, guys. The Trackmania channel. Are there any other famous Trackmania names that didn't fit in the report for various reasons? Just yes or no? Yes. Yes, there are. But there's not a lot. The only player apart from Trabadia that we were aware of before the report was Thoringer in Lagoon. But we felt like that was because with his runs, it was sort of based on one player's suspicion. And we checked the runs, and they did indeed look like they were driven in slow motion. But we didn't have any tools to do the same analysis that we did for Nations 10 United. So he felt like that would be too targeted. But he himself came forward and admitted to it a few days ago. So, and now Trabadia also admitted, so. When can we expect a response from Nadeo? They've said that they're right now working more on creating things. I don't know much, but what I've heard from our conversations with them is they have some exciting stuff coming in June. That's what I've heard. So I think that's their main focus. And then we'll see if they also find time to do this, but I think they are more looking forwards than looking backwards into the history of the records. Like, they just want to make good features for you guys so you can enjoy the game. Why did we ask Riolo for sample replays? We asked everyone in the top of the Nadeo leaderboard to try to steer as fast as they could, so we could measure like the spikes per second, like what is normal, you know? And then with everyone inputting spikes per second, we then sort of knew where the threshold of our search would be to then get mostly suspicious replays. That was the point of it. So like if everyone is inputting and players at their peak average at around 10 spikes per second, then we do a search for like 15 spikes per second. And any replay above that would then be manually analyzed, was sort of the idea. Is coaching SPVille still active? Yes, I think we're gonna try to go back to that next weekend. I'll still see how I feel after this weekend if I want to stream next weekend. But my plan is to be back to normal next weekend again. So a spike is every time a player changes steering. So if you're steering to the left and then you ease up a little bit and then go back to left, that is 3 spikes. No, 2 spikes. Because you change steering twice. So you go left, down a little bit, so you go right, and then up a little bit, so you go left. 2 spikes. How is this cheat not detected or known earlier? That's crazy. We simply didn't have the tools to analyze replays this way. Like the visualization tool, the input extraction tool. Up until 2019, we were completely in the dark about this. Because the issue is that replays driven in slow motion, they are validated in-game. So if you click the validate button to see if a run is legit, the game tells you that it's valid, it's legit. So we just thought, yeah, I mean, sure, it's legit. And we never really thought that there was any way to get around that. But Donadigo developed a lot of tools for the game, and that's when we started noticing with all these tools. So he's really the reason that we even knew about this. Like, if Donadigo wasn't in the team community, it could have been several more years until we found out. So he's really like the guy who's the reason that we know about this now. How did Trebadia's runs go past validation? It's because the game doesn't check what he did either. It's a short answer. But as I said, there's also now much better detection methods than the ones we are using. So even if you try to drive very smooth to not tap at all, it's still possible to see if you did in slow motion or not. So yeah. What was harder for me, Riola's words on stream or the backlash from the community? I think both kind of just sucked because I felt okay. I'm not mad at the people because I feel like you guys acted based on the info that you had at the time. But I also was very disappointed that it was framed in this light, because it was the complete opposite of why we were doing what we're doing. Like, for example, the I'd urge you to think carefully comment that I made. Completely opposite of what it was framed to be. So that just made me a bit sad, but also like it gave us like the final push to finish the report in 3 days instead of the planned like 2 weeks more it would take us. Because like someone brought up this point, like, who are you gonna believe? Are you gonna believe that I'm a I'm a douchebag, or that Riolu's lying? Like, it's hard to just assume that someone is lying when they're telling you something that clearly affects them. And so it's just easier to think that I was the bad guy, I suppose. Did anybody donate to Donadigo after the video? Donadigo told me that his PayPal account was frozen because he received so many individual donations that PayPal was like, what's going on here? So you guys have been very generous with Donadigo. So I'm sure he appreciates it a lot. So yeah, you guys have been very kind. I'm gonna say thank you on behalf of him. But like, it's easy to think like the tool was faulty, or that we didn't check every possibility, like, you know, hardware issues, etc. It's much easier to think these things than to think he's cheating, or they are cheating. And that was our immediate conclusion as well when we first saw these inputs. Like, me and Donadigo, we were trying to find every other possible explanation before just jumping to the conclusion that they were cheated. So I completely understand it, like, in that way. It's just a shame that it had to be this way, you know? You should walk from this with your head held high. You did the right thing. But it's hard to say that you did the right thing when it affects someone else negatively. Because, I mean, and this is what sucks, is like, maybe it's correct to call out cheating where it happens, but it's not like, you know, a walk on roses, like, yay, I'm a good human being. I feel terrible. I feel terrible for doing this. Because, like, he lost his contract with Nuravin, for example. Probably going to lose a lot of supporters from this. A lot of people who liked watching his videos now might think of him differently. Like, I don't feel like a good person for doing this. There are a lot of negative consequences as well. I still felt like saying it was important, but it just sucks being the guy responsible. Did leaving Nuravin have something to do with this? No. That was independent of this. What happened? Why does Virtual seem so down? If you're joining in and you have no idea what's going on, there's a report. There's also a video that I made, and this is the first stream I'm doing since those two things. So I just want to talk about things with chat now, with the Track Media community, clear up a lot of things, and then tomorrow, World Cup. So tomorrow we'll just forget all this, hopefully, for a little bit, and just enjoy some high quality gameplay. That's what I want to see. I just want to see people enjoy like the good sides of it too. Virtual at Healthy Gamer? Oh, I couldn't. I get so uncomfortable in situations like that. Second report, no. If anything further comes out, it will either be from players themselves or from Nadeo at some point in the future. But I will not be posting anything more about this. What time is World Cup? It is at 4 tomorrow. So in about 20 hours and a half, that's when it's starting. Am I casting? Yes, I am. This would have come out eventually. That's also one of the main things we thought about, is like, if we don't do this now, someone else will find this in 1 year, or maybe another guy finds it in 2 years. And it cannot stay buried forever. The replay analysis tools are getting better and better. Many people took interest in like making tool assisted runs, and then they do this exact process that we did with replays. So it's more of just like, I think many of the players cheating underestimated the scope of how good tools would eventually become. Because at the time they did it, it was undetectable. And it's only because tools advanced now that we were able to see it. Have we talked since our last DMs, me and Riolu? No. No, we haven't. I have not heard anything from them. It's similar to doping scandals in cycling. So many things not seen for years and busted later in the future. Yeah. Been playing anything other than TM recently? I played some Smash yesterday with my friends. That was a good time. Did any of the players that came clean talk to me after? Yes, actually. I've been talking to some of the players just about like how they're doing, what happened, etc. But it was mostly them reaching out to me instead of me reaching out to them. Do I think this will discourage players from cheating in the future? I hope. I really hope so. I really hope, like, if someone thinks about cheating now after all this, that they think better of it. I think from this point on, I think the consequences for cheating will be much harsher because we don't want another situation like this. And I also think that, I mean, people are working on making the possibilities of cheating harder as well. It's not entirely possible to make it fully, like, 100% safe with a game like this. But it is possible to make it so hard to cheat that you discourage most good players. Because most good players, I think, feel a problem with entitlement or ego that caused them to cheat. Like this feeling like you sort of deserve the record and the game should just give it to you. Like you've already put in all the hours. And so you feel that you've earned it already, but you haven't gotten it. So you get frustrated. Things like this. And so I don't think many of them would then sit down and brute force reverse engineer a patch. It's very unlikely. But if it was as simple as opening cheat engine, then maybe, you know? Like the less accessible it is and the less possible it is for the average person to do, the less likely you are to have cheaters to begin with. What Smash character do I play? I'm a Bowser one trick. I really like Bowser. So my Bowser is pretty clean. Yeah, I love grabbing someone and just jumping off the stage. It's a classic move, signature move. Favorite tea? Ooh. Well, not really related, but I read it. I like cinnamon and apple. If it has cinnamon and apple taste, it's really good. Would we consider requiring broadcasters to have video proof to stop cheaters? The issue is like this dilemma we have with that. Trackmania as it stands right now is great because it's so accessible. It's like all you have to do is just sit down and play and then upload your replay and you're good, right? Like that's great because you don't need like a good enough PC to stream your attempts or to record. You don't need a camera to like record your inputs or anything like that. And sort of the more things like this you enforce, the less accessible it is as a competition. So it's a difficult thing to do much about. Like the more rules you put up, the harder it is for people to get into it. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I know Trackmania Exchange are working a lot now to do at least a few changes that should make it better, the leaderboards. I've been in talks with Sky, who's the site admin, and he said that they are working a lot now to fix things. So that's good news to hear. But exactly what they will do, I don't know. we've already lifted the idea of hand camps in the community, and many players were against it simply because of the accessibility thing, like just the extra measure to set up hand camps. I think it could be like a voluntary thing, like if you want to do it, you can do it. I don't think it's going to be forced though. Is this just an AMA? Well, I had like I said some things in the beginning. Now it's mostly just the AMA. Yeah. Music on. I prefer actually just not having music right now. What I think about Turbo's confession? I'm really glad that he came out about it. I talked to Turbo. He was actually one of the first people I talked to. Early in April, because at the time we wanted to understand how DX Tweak worked, and I knew that he played some runs on United. So I talked to him about DX Tweak and stuff like this, and then he admitted to me that we got into the topic like why we needed to check this. And then he admitted to me that he'd played some runs in slow motion himself. Just like, yeah, I did this. And I'm really glad that he also came forward with it. It was only a few runs in official mode from long ago. And I felt it was also better that he could say that himself than that the report sort of said it for him. So I can appreciate that. Was I surprised that the cheating was this widespread? Well, it's a shame to say, but like, you know, when you detect a new player after already detecting 10 players, it's sort of just like, oh, another one. Like it's like right now it's not that surprising anymore, but when we first discovered it, we couldn't really believe it. And it was just, you know, really sad. Would I have offered Riolo the same thing had he come forward? Yes, I think Riolo could come forward in his own way. But I also think the report would have to mention Riolu just because of the scale. Like, Turbo had 5 runs in official mode, I think, in slow motion. Riolu potentially several hundred runs across many games and many more years. So it would still have to be part of the report. But it would also be better, I think, if he said it in his own way first. Do I have personal advice to the community and your audience going forward on this? Well, I think it's important to, like, you know, right now it's sort of like a grief period, I feel like many people are doing different things to to cope almost, whether it's memes or posts about this and that or discussions about this and that. I think it's important that we eventually just doesn't have to be yet, but like we try to put it behind us, you know? Like, yeah, this thing happened, but there's still a lot of good things happening. We have World Cup tomorrow. I can tell you guys that's going to be incredibly hype. I'm looking forward to it. And then, you know, things go on. There's going to be more records in the future. Hopefully they are legit and we can still celebrate them the same way. Because a lot of people play Trackmania to push their own limits, to set great times, and to sort of just, you know, use it as an outlet for achievement. And it's a really cool thing to follow. And I don't think that's going to change. I think Trackmania in its essence will stay the same. So, overall, just, you know, take your time. I think it's going to heal. I think we'll be back on track. And I'm very much looking forward to the future of this game. Any plans for another COTD aspiring track? I have some plans. Nostalgia didn't get a couple of days, but I have some plans for other tracks. Probably not yet, though. It's going to be a while. But I do want to build another one soon. What am I drinking? I've had a cup of coffee. Now I'm drinking Coca-Cola. That's the plan. Coca-Cola out of a mug? No, it's a glass. So always sugar and caffeine? Yeah. I'm I'm living off of sugar and caffeine the last days. But yeah, guys, I don't really know. Do you guys have any more questions that I haven't answered? I feel like I've sort of said most of what I wanted to say. I feel a lot lighter mentally. It's still gonna take me a few days, I think, to get back to things like making videos, but I'll try as soon as I'm ready for it. I'll also try to stream normal again as soon as I'm ready for that. Do I ever get tired of answering the same questions over and over again? Ooh, big question. Will I be more active on social media after the stream? I don't think so. I think I'll cast World Cup tomorrow and Sunday. But I think maybe like next week I'll be more active. Also, I see the alerts, by the way, have gone absolutely crazy this stream. It's a bit much to go through it all, but thank you guys so much. I'll go through a little bit of it, but yeah. Thank you. At what time World Cup? It's at 4 p.m. European time. I saw a question. Then I missed it. Do I think Riolo has any chance of coming back into the Trackmania community? Obviously, it wouldn't be the same, but still. I don't think that's up for me to say. But I think there are things he could do that makes it more likely. Because in the end, it's it's based on what he does, I think. Any news from William B? No. There's a few players that we detected in the report that we have not heard anything from. And they are mostly just gone from the game, so we don't really expect to hear anything from them either. What about Traba? You told us there was more to it. Well, there are more maps that haven't been mentioned in his tweet longer, which I felt he probably should have mentioned. But I hope maybe also says something about it soon. Oh, Rukenshia, dude. Thank you, man. I don't want to have a pity stream. Thank you guys though, but yeah, no. Featon, I wish this would come out, but I don't think I would want to be the guy coming out with it. Because the stress and the amount of work and sort of just like the the thankless nature of the work. Like, I think it's important to talk about, no matter which players we found in that report. I think it's important that, you know, for all the players who are competing fairly, that they can ensure that they're competing fairly against others. But knowing now, like, how stressful it's been, and like, I mean, and yeah, no, I shouldn't say thankless, because there have been so many positive DMs that we've received the last days, which is really wholesome. Thank you guys. But it's, yeah, I don't think I would want to be the guy responsible. Not here to pity, here to support you, what you're doing for the community. Thank you, Wirtual. Thank you, Yoselon. How did my family react? Well, I haven't told them too much. But the last days I've told them that, yeah, just because of everything now, I'm taking a break. But they've been pretty supportive. Tribody has deleted all of his videos? Okay. Is there any chance that runs are slow down time but aren't recognizable by eye? Like no crazy inputs, but still slow down? Yes. Yes, there is a chance of that. But there's also very good detection methods. So if some players have tried to cheat that way, we have not found them, but they have been detected. So I think that is the next thing that will be dealt with. Are runs that are driven in slow motion, but too smooth for our detection method to detect. Oh, Ivo, that's cool to hear, man. What happened to Trabadia? You lived under a rock? Well, he posted on Twitter yesterday that he cheated AO1. So the crazy thing about AO1 now is, assuming that Riolu's records will be removed, the world record is back to being 2387. So it's a 2014 record now. Even though we thought it was first 2386 and then 2385, 84, 83 by Trabadia. I think it's also a bit weird though with Trabadia's claims to legitimate records, when it's like it doesn't really count anymore after he cheated the records. Like he can claim to have done it, but it's kind of just like a sour taste, you know? Like, we all knew he was capable of this. Like, no one's saying he isn't a good player, but it would be weird to count someone's legitimate record on the same map that they cheated an even better record, you know? You heard Raceta sent 1000 TN2 replays? So the thing is, we asked some players that have been around for a while to send us their replays, because in Mania Exchange, the Trackmania 2 website, the older records are not stored on the leaderboards. So if you have personal best A, and then you improve to personal best B and upload that record, they remove personal best A from the website. So a lot of old runs were not stored there. So what we did is we asked players, like maybe they had old replays downloaded. And Raceta had a few, Big Bang 1112 had a few, Rotaker had a few, BCP had a few. And so this is sort of how we piece together, like, to see the missing pieces on the timeline. Do I think Riola's records played live on stream should be deleted? I'd say yes. Because at that point, if you're willing to cheat that many records, I think the legitimate ones also don't have the same weight to them. It's the same way, like, for example, in Techno's case, right? Techno didn't cheat all of his records, but at some point with Techno, for example, you can't tell whether what he did legit was truly legit or not, so just everything gets removed. And sure, there are records that Riolu drove live on stream, which we know, like, they are legitimate. There's no doubt. But I still think you remove everything if you start removing something. Just because of, like, the bad taste thing. But that's, again, not up to me to decide, though. I'm not the leaderboard moderator. Is the Trackmania 2021 Rewind going to be a compilation of all the deleted records? It's weird, man. Like, a lot of people are now deleting the old videos and deleting the old replays that were cheated. And it's like, what do you do? Because with some of these things, they're just part of our history. So do we then erase these bits of history? Or do we let them stay as, like, a reminder, right? So for example, like, my DO7 video. In that video, Riolu had a big battle with Raysons. We've looked at those replays and we believe they are cheated. Every replay I mentioned in the video. Even, like, the first freewheeling skip replay we think is slow-mo. Things like that, right? Like, what do you do in a situation like that? Because it's undeniably a part of history. It's just, it's also cheated. Now, Raysons is legitimate, guys. Should have said every Riolu replay. Could I show how the input tool works on stream? I could. If you guys want to see it. Like, how we work with these replays. It's pretty simple, really. Can you guys see this? Wait. You turn on webcam here. To this? Yes. Hi. So I'm in game now in the tool, actually. So the way it works is you just select the replay, you validate it, you fetch the inputs from it, you play against it, and now we have input display. I can turn this on or off, but this car here is me driving right now, or the game driving. And it's just in mimicking everything that the car is doing. It's doing the exact same movements. So you get the same result. So here we are perfectly recreating the 2383 on AO1. And people might be wondering, the reason it was keyboard there for a second at the downhill is because... Wait, don't I have the speed hotkeys? Oh, I do. Yeah, here. Trabadia uses digital input. So he presses, like, the bumpers on his controller to do the downhill. So he does full steer. with these keys. It's shown as keyboard, but it's not actually a keyboard. Hey, Granati. How do you detect macros? Well, I don't want to go too much into it, but the way it was detected on AO1 is because we analyzed many of Trebodia's speed slides, and we saw the exact same input values in the speed slides. Like here, exact same for a few runs. And if you think about it, right? Like, if you think about it, with a controller, this thing, for just like full left, right? From center to full left, you have 65,000 possible values. So to hold like the exact same values, that's like millimeters. That's very tiny. And if you do that across many runs, it's just not possible. It's actually impossible. No problem with wheel? Yeah, maybe easier with wheel. But still, I think you'd have some fluctuation, Grody. But yeah, that's how it works. Hope we can close this chapter soon. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best for the community. Roland coming forward about cheating. That's a good tweet. No, I think it's important to have a little bit of fun with it too. Like, it shouldn't be too serious. I can appreciate some of the memes, the laughs. It's good that you know, humor is sort of the one of the best ways to cope with something. But I do also hope that like eventually we just you know, get past it. But yeah, I was feeling pretty like heavy at the start of the stream. I feel a lot better now, guys. Thank you all for all the kind words and also for all the support. You really didn't have to, but I really appreciate it. Just want to real quick go through everything, and then I think I'm gonna end the stream here pretty soon. Mathiona, thank you for the 10 euros just because. Thank you guys for all the primes and the resubs as well. Terrio, thank you for the 30 euros. You did a great job. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you, man. Hope you're doing good yourself. Rob the Blanger, you handled this report in the best way you could. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, we did try our best. Medic, thank you for the founder bits. Just wanted to say that none of this can have been easy for you at all. You've done something very important for the community, and although it has been so tough to go through, you and the community will come out stronger for it. I hope so too, Medic. I really hope so. Thank you, man. Beer King Kim, instead of talking about Trackmania cheating, why don't you tell the story of how you sink a Norwegian submarine? You swim down, knock on the hatch, and they open it. Lol. Okay. I think you typoed Sweden here, but keep up the good work. The credibility and the reliability is the heart of an esport. Thank you, Blowback92. Appreciate it. Crest, thank you for the 50 euros. You did the right thing. You know that because it was the hard thing to do. Thank you, man. See if I missed anything here. Oh, you guys resubbed before I even started the stream. Crazy. I think that's it for donations and whatnot. I have talked to Carl Jobst. I have helped him a little bit with things he's been wondering about. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna end now. Get something to eat and just relax. Warm up for tomorrow. If you guys don't know, there's World Cup tomorrow. Go follow the Trackmania Twitch channel. Give this account a follow if you want to watch World Cup tomorrow. It's the World Cup qualifier. And yeah, until then, I'll be off. So let's look for someone to raid. Starts in 20 hours. It does. All right, guys. Let's raid spam today. Go over to spam. Say hi. Be kind. Spread the love. Trek Media community is amazing. It will stay amazing because it's compiled of a lot of great people like yourselves. Thank you all for what you're doing for me and for the other streamers. Keep staying awesome, and once this thing blows over, then things will be back to normal. Why is it not? Where did my audio go? Hello? I was gonna play an outro song for you guys, but it's oh, I muted it. 500. Alright, guys. That's gonna be the stream. 7's up in chat. Oh, what do you call it? I'm tired of my arm because of the workout. But yeah, see you guys around. Thank you. I love y'all. Have a good one.